All right. I have someone in a car on a Samsung device. Could I ask your name, please?
Jacoby Lyles.
Say it again.
Jacoby Lyles.
All right. Hold on one second.
I'm not sure if I'm in the right one because I was told All Saver is not in today.
Hold on, Mr. Lyles. You are where you are supposed to be.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Murphy,
Okay,
Mr. Lyles is yours. All right. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacoby Wayne Lyles, file number 22-21135FH. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Lyles, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for arraignment in this matter, and a waiver was not filed. So, Mr. Murphy, do you wish to waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor, we waive a reading of the information. We acknowledge receipt of said information at this time, the witness list and discovery demand from the prosecution in this matter. I was hoping to have this in front of Judge Olsaver because Mr. Lyles has probation in front of Judge Olsaver. That's why we didn't waive. But I would ask at this time just to enter a not guilty plea, set a pretrial so we can get this as soon as possible in front of Judge Olsaver and enter a plea agreement that we already have worked out.
Don't you want to just plead them today?
Well, I didn't know if Mr. Lyles wanted to, because I believe he wanted to have it done in front of Judge Olsaver.
So,
if he was fine with doing it today, we could just do it today.
Well, I mean, so Mr. Lyles, Judge Olsaver is off this week, and I'm filling in for him. So if you wanted to plea in front of me, that would be fine, but you would be sentenced by Judge Olsaver.
Right. I mean, I'm fine with that as long as, because we already had it written in document, prosecuting, they already said that it was okay for for it to be dropped to disorderly and nothing but fines and costs. If we could go with that, then run with it. But I mean,
And Your Honor, we can enter a plea of guilty then today to disorderly.
All right. Okay, Mr. Lyles, will you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Murphy, could you put the plea on the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. This case was a plea agreement involving another case, but in this file, Mr. Lyles was going to plead guilty to disorderly conduct with the Killebrew agreement to just fines and costs in this matter. There was another case that Mr. Lyles has already been sentenced to probation on that was involved in the matter as well.
Okay, so he's going to plead to count 2 disorderly. Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And then there'd be no objection to fines and costs. Would that be sentenced today or it's a victim crime, so I need to set it out 30 days for sentencing? Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
I believe so, Judge, yes.
All right, Ms. Adams, let me see what I got from Mr. Judge Olsaver's office. All right, sentencing would be January 12th at 8:15. All right.
Is there an amended?
Yes. All right, so Mr. Sneed, could I get that amended information today, please?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Lyles, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 2 disorderly, which is a 93-day misdemeanor with the agreement that it would be fines and costs only? So is that your intention?
Yes, ma'am. That is my intention.
Very good. Are you satisfied with Mr. Murphy as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights that you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Sir, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
I mean, as long as it's strictly fines and costs, and yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Lyles, I want you to listen to the question that I ask you and
Yes,
just
ma'am.
answer that
I heard
question.
exactly what you said. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you understand you're giving up rights to appeal issues that would be appealable if you'd been convicted at trial instead of by taking a plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right, so sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about July 24th of 2022 in Cambridge Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of disorderly conduct? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, now, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty other than what was placed on the record today?
No, ma'am.
All right, do you understand if I accept the plea, you'll be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, all right. So is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any other promises or threats than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Sneed,
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so Mr. Lyles, on July 24th of 22, were you in Cambridge Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And then did you come in contact with a Michigan State trooper named Renee Gonzalez?
I mean, I'm guessing so.
Well, I'm guessing that on that day you were
Right back.
disorderly and it involved.
I'm not sure what is. I think it was Gonzalez.
Okay, let me back up. Did you come in contact with the Michigan State trooper?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Was it a woman?
No, it was a man.
Oh, okay. So, and if I told you that your attorney and the prosecutor agreed that that trooper's name was Renee Gonzalez, would you dispute that?
I mean, I wouldn't dispute it. I mean, some people name their boys girl names, so I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it might be,
It
it
looked
might
like
be
a
a,
dude.
Mr. Lyles, it might be a Hispanic name. So,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So, Mr. Lyles, at some point, did you get loud enough that another party could have heard you, or did you get a little rowdy or something?
Not really. I was helping my buddy off the ground because he's passed out up against the fence, and the
So I'm
cop
gonna
come up
guess
from
this
behind.
was Faster Horses weekend. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, you want to help me out a little bit with this?
Yes, Mr. Lyles, I thought in our conversation remember when you had discussed this before, during the process of helping your buddy up, you would agree that you two were being disorderly, you guys were being rowdy, that drew the attention of the police. Would you
I
agree with
mean,
that?
he swung on me and I grabbed him by his arm. So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and both of you were engaging in behavior that caused a disturbance. You would agree with that? Not you weren't fighting, but it was you guys were being
Yeah.
rowdy. You would agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that drew the attention of other individuals in the area.
Yeah.
Mr. Sneed, are you satisfied?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
All right, has the court complied with the MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Sneed?